Introduction. Humanities consists of 4 core subjects. These are history, geography, civics and citizenship, and economics and business. Humanities is the study of human behaviour and the interaction of human behaviour in a social, cultural, environmental, economic and political context, as described by the Australian curriculum. As your child will be in the primary school system, the Humanities and Social Sciences curriculum is combined and taught as a sub-strand of the knowledge and understanding strand that is in the Australian curriculum. This is done as follows. From Foundation to Year 2, your child will be taught History and Geography as part of the Humanities and Social Sciences. From Year 3 to Year 4, your child will be taught History and Geography and be introduced to Civics and Citizenship. From Years 5 to 6, your child will be taught History, Geography, Civics and Citizenship, and be introduced to Business and Economics as well. These will all fall under the umbrella strand of Humanities and Social Sciences. Throughout your child's learning of each substrand of the Humanities and Social Sciences, they will develop knowledge and understanding that relate to a wider and more broad ideas that underpin the Humanities and Social Sciences in the Australian curriculum. They will learn these ideas through the substrands of history, geography, civics and citizenship, and economics and business. The key ideas for these are outlined below. Who we are, who came before us, and traditions and values that have shaped societies. Students explore their own identity, Australia's heritage and cultural diversity, and Australia's identity as a nation in the world. They examine the significance of traditions and shared values within society. How societies and economies operate and how they are changing over time. Students learn about Australian society and other societies in the world, both past and present, and how they function socially, culturally, economically, and politically. Students examine developments that have resulted in or are bringing about change. The ways people, places, ideas, and events are perceived and connected. Students are provided with opportunities to explore different perceptions of people, places, ideas, and events. They develop an understanding of the interdependent nature of the world and the interrelationships within and between the natural environment, human communities, and economies. They explore how people, ideas, and events are connected over time and increasingly interconnected across local, national, regional, and global contexts. How people exercise their responsibilities, participate in society, and make informed decisions. Students examine how individuals and groups have participated and contributed to society, past and present. They examine the rights and responsibilities of individuals and groups over time and in different contexts. They develop an understanding of the need to make decisions, the importance of ethical considerations, and being informed when making decisions, the processes for decision making, and the implications of decisions that are made for individuals, society, the economy, and the environment. Through your child's study of the humanities and social sciences, your child will be able to become a critical thinker, looking at ideas and information and being able to critically analyse, think, and make their own ideas and conclusions based on the information that they were given. Your child will be given the ability to problem solve and communicate effectively, as well as make competent decisions and adapt to change because of their studies of the humanities and sciences. Your child will be able to begin looking at issues and thinking about the key historical, geographical, economic, political, and social factors that are involved and will be able to form an educated opinion on these issues. The study of the humanities unit will enable your child to have an understanding of the world in which we live in today and how people participate actively as informed citizens in the 21st century. Your child will develop the skills required to become a critical thinker and problem solver, and will be able to show compassion, empathy, and justice through their study of the humanities and social sciences.
Today I'll be discussing the importance of including Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspectives by taking into consideration the cross-curriculum priority strands 1.4 and 2.4 and the importance of respect, reconciliation and relationships. Firstly, I'd like to begin with the cross-curriculum priorities 1.4, which was describing the important terms of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders' perspectives. By developing programs that support ongoing participation, you are contributing and supporting to collaborative work and therefore initiating the development of collaborative relationships. Within these programs, multiple things must be taken into consideration, as for instance, teaching that there is and covers all students' capabilities. Lastly, for these programs to be implemented, effective teaching strategies must be implemented to cover the broad understanding of local communities, cultures, cultural identities, and linguistics. An example of this is overviewing traditional language. Moving to the curriculum priorities strand 2.4, how teaching roles plays an important part of the inclusion of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. It is important that we as teachers also demonstrate our knowledge in understanding and respecting another culture and history, so that we provide the opportunity to the students to acquire an understanding of the same areas. In regards to the 3 R's, which are respect, reconciliation, and relationships, they are marked as 3 critical necessities for including Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. If we respect these 3 R's, it will enable every individual to explore personal and professional values. By implementing respect, you're including how you treat every individual, which covers, which is over several manners. So whether it's listening to someone or waiting for them to finish their speech and then speaking on your behalf. Means of reconciliation, we are to work towards equity in our classrooms or any school area, so we are able to, to better work together and make each other's belief compatible with another. Last but not least, relationships are very important because it's the way people are connected, and we all require an understanding of this, because by abiding to relationships or respect and reconciliation, it creates a positive relationship which will always be present within our classrooms. Whole school events that mark significant dates, just like Australia Day or Remembrance Day to us Australians, are important to celebrate to further help another, like an Aboriginal or a Torres Strait Islander student, feel important and with us in our community, a part of us. A few of my significant dates that I have chosen in respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students, the 19th of March 2006, which was Close the Gap Day, which is where the Indigenous health crisis was over and health needs were spread out equally. Also, another date which I think is very significant in regards to Torres Strait Islander students is the year of 1992, when their flag was released. I believe progression within my classroom can be achieved by shared learning or posters after every lesson, where everyone's knowledge can be shared around, and everyone's there contributing so they can learn each other's ideas. Thank you.
Our humanities pedagogy incorporates a range of different learning models and theories. Pedagogy is about learning, teaching and development influenced by the cultural, social and political views we have for children. We understand that all of our students learn and progress differently. Some students may learn best through a hands-on approach, while some may learn best through theory. We cater to all types of learning in our humanities classrooms. Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences best displays that all children learn differently, and therefore, teachers should teach each child differently using the multiple intelligences. Howard L. Gardner formulated his theory through his studies of psychology and social sciences at Harvard University. The multiple intelligences are linguistic or word smart, logical or maths smart, musical, bodily or kinesthetic body smart, spatial, using space, interpersonal, people smart, intrapersonal, self smart, naturalistic, nature smart. It is said that all intelligences are needed to live life. We use a range of resources in our classrooms for dynamic learning. These include ICTs and community resources. Critical thinking is highly encouraged to make students question and analyse their own thinking and create higher order thinking. Collaborative learning is created through group work and enables students to work together and learn and retain more information. Inquiry questions are used to help give students a sense of purpose. We teach in ways that allow students to use their imagination and creativity and make students realise that sometimes there is more than one answer to a question.
By visiting the Bunjalaka Cultural Centre, students can experience the history, geography, civics, citizenships, economics and business of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. Language maps. Students can physically touch the map, listen to the different languages of the different tribes throughout Victoria. Understanding that each tribe speak different languages and not the one language where each tribe belong. Animal creations. The animals in this country are interlinked and connected with the indigenous culture through totemic and spiritual relationships forged over thousands of years. Indigenous cultures celebrate these relationships with song, ceremonies, stories, and as you can see in these photos, art. Students can visually interpret the artwork, giving them a better understanding of the spiritual relationships forged between Indigenous cultures and animals. By visiting the MCG, walking along the Birang Ma and across the William Brack Bridge, students can experience and learn the history of why it was built, also the story behind Manguk and how it's developed into the nationwide sport it is today. The Birang Ma and the William Brack Bridge celebrates the diversity of Victoria's Indigenous culture by interpreting stories through public artworks. You'll see a winding pathway which acknowledges the significance of the eel as a traditional food source, and a semicircle of metal shields represents each of the 5 groups of the Kulin Nation. Physically engaging the students in the culture and the history behind these landmarks.
Giving the students a possibility to physically experience and visualise cultural practices and history, such as the history of the Indigenous land, the meaning behind the animal artwork, the Birang Ma and the William Brack Bridge, displaying an effective teaching practice by giving students a practical experience following up from their theoretical learning, correctly utilising knowledge and a value for the information being taught respectfully. Engaging students in the correct manner about their own local cultures and opposing cultures, by teaching students about the history and differences between cultures, alongside further learning about the Indigenous history and the positive impact their cultures has had on our society. Going on excursions is also encouraging for the teachers to learn further about the diversity of cultures and languages present in Aboriginal history. We also examine historical and current definitions of Aboriginality, fighting stereotypes and common misconceptions, celebrating and recognising Aboriginal accomplishments throughout these important landmarks within the community and Bunjalaka Museum.
Celebrating and assessing students' work is vital towards their education, the impact of their learning, and the overall well-being of the classroom. Today we are going to talk about the positive and negative effects of assessing and celebrating student learning. Like these images show us, standardized testing is not always the greatest method of assessing student learning. Often it is about whole school performance and the ranking of the school. We are gearing up the students for the general assessments that do not always correlate with their best intentions. This can lead to stress, anxiety, and poor test results, which can lead to a very negative learning experience and cause delays with their education. Pictured here are 3 students knuckling themselves into textbooks and solely relying upon their memory when it comes to exams. Moving the learning to different environments, micro-assessments such as seeing whether your students can recite forms of literacy in front of you, and assessing their prior learning with the expansive knowledge they already come to class with is a form of assessment in which we correlate here. Encouragement is the tool. Praising students after they've done the correct thing promotes good behaviour and inspires students to go further with their learning. Hanging up students' work around the classroom makes them feel accomplished and also invites other students to look at their work. This brings a sense of well-being into the classroom, promotes good work and class ethic, and gives the students a reason to achieve a lot more. Even the smallest amount of praise can mean the biggest difference to a student. A little praise goes a long way. If a student needs a little help with either their spelling, reading, writing, or any types of literacy, little bouts of encouragement will not only help them achieve their goal, but it will invite them to go one step further and see what they can achieve on their own. This is just 3 effective changes that can happen when students are praised and celebrated for their own work. Students have the opportunity to talk about their work and share with others about their learning, their success, and the collaborative projects that they're working on. This can stem from classroom assignments to special performances in front of the school or at school assemblies. Thank you so much for watching our Open Day video.